through the air, and you can see trying to work it away a little bit. So he'll be disappointed he has to go, but does mean Vikramjit Singh, who made an amazing 50 runs off 20 balls only a few days ago. Followed it up with the duck. Cricket is a bit like that. You have to ride the topsy-turviness. But it was against this very team that he made that quick 550.
And he's class personified, isn't he? Vikram Singh. Left-handers with a slight different challenge. Interesting one also is the one that went down the leg side, the one that essentially pushed to the direction he should be aiming to the left-hander. It's the one that didn't swing at all. So let's see if he's able to kind of bring one back down the line. One slip in place for Dylan Halliger.
Yeah, this could be a good test for Vikramjit Singh because he's getting a lot of swing, obviously being a left-hander. If he can start on maybe that 4th, 5th stump.
Oh, it could be gone.
Oh boy, he's singling. There's a bit of bat there. So does Vikramjit Singh, but I think that might be a bit of a guilty showing. I know we've got the camera behind. If he doesn't hit that, if there's no inside edge, that is out.
Sells it, doesn't he? Vikram didn't look too bothered. It's very hard to tell from behind the stumps.
It's hard to tell for us, but this is a good matchup actually here. Swing it back into the left-hander.
Well, shows you, yeah, he is getting that movement still to the lefty. Vikram decides to go on contact. He'll get off the mark.
A few little twitchy shots here from the Netherlands early. Credit to the Canadian bowling lineup so far. And there's been 6 wide so far as well. Only 3 runs off the bat. So impressive start. To think only 2 hours ago they were 35 for 6. Could have been a very different tale.
Short form cricket, but it's longer than you think. Get plenty of twists and turns. They really had to fight their way out of a corner, Canada, to get this 133. 133 target that they've set the Netherlands. Plays outside that one. Maybe that one didn't quite go as much as the batter was expecting.
Well, it's an interesting delivery. It looked like it was going to go. It just sort of hits the wicket and straightens.
Yeah, I just think it, threatened to go, but didn't. And Levitt, you can understand, you know, he's watched from the other end. He's seen a lot of outswing. So he's playing for it. But yeah, the human reactions, you can't make the adjustments that late. Could be lucky not to get a little touch behind. Last ball of the over. Seed as well. It's going to bounce straight over the stumps. Well, Halliger, it was the good, the bad, the ugly in there. He does get the wicket of Max O'Dowd. He almost gets Levitt and almost gets Vikram too. But at the end of 2 overs, Netherlands are 9 for 1.
What a start from Canada. On another day that kisses the bales and you've got both openers gone. We have a quick look at the table. Obviously, the Dutch have raced away with their 2 wins. We had that unfortunate washout when that big storm hit in the Canada-USA game. Canada probably were a bit under par in that, and USA would have been disappointed not to get back onto the field. But a win here for Canada at the very back end of their tour would it would lift the spirits a bit.
And of course, if Netherlands win this game, if they do chase the 133, it puts them in an unassailable position in the series, even if the USA were to win their last 2 games. But I mean, even if that turns out to be the case, every game of T20 cricket has consequences, has meaning attached to it with the system, the ranking system. I'm sure it'll be very competitive no matter what throughout the next couple of days. Here's Sana. Do you think, you know, chasing this kind of target, which is let's just say it's an underwhelming total that Canada have put on the board, do you think it changes the approach of someone like Levitt compared to yesterday?
No. I think the modern day cricketer and this Dutch group are looking to be aggressive. What's happening here is they're being outskilled currently by Canada. Canada are bowling at a really good length. They're getting the ball to move both ways. And the opening bowlers, besides the 1-5 wides, have bowled 13 peaches. Really good bowling. So they're going to be positive. They're going to want to get ahead of the rate. Sometimes you've got to tip your hat to the opposition and say, well bowled.
watchfully plays this down to deep third. I want to say a quick hello to Jacob, who's a youngster watching from Estonia. Hello, Jacob. Hopefully you're well. Nice to see you with us. I see Dave's watching from France as well. It's in there with a few comments as well. And if you'd like to get involved in the conversation, Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo with Corey Ruckers. Lenny will be back a little bit later on. You can get involved. Make it a two-way conversation. ECN European Cricket Network. Also, Saurabh Zalpuri is in there saying a special welcome to Kampong for me. Saying just feels right with us together. Also saw Andrew File was in there before. So
my Kampong faithful members there, Vinny. What a club.
Now you've got a soft spot for them. This one chopped back onto the pad.
They're getting this ball to talk, this Kookaburra. It's weather conditions today. It's a little bit cloudy, it's cool. And they're getting this ball to swing and sort of hold its line sometimes as well. And, well, this is an uncharacteristic start from what we've seen so far this series for the Netherlands.
It's an interesting one. I mean, is there an argument for kind of seeing the new ball off or kind of trying to preserve these wickets in a slightly more conservative fashion than you might otherwise?
I don't think that's the way they play these days. I think if there's any inkling of a chance to score, you're going to see Vikram try and pump one through the offside over the top or try and get under the ball.
Another streaky one for Vikram. It'll get a single off the outside edge. I want to say hello to Mohit Karan Hamor, who's watching from Canberra in Australia. Have you been to Canberra?
No. No, actually, maybe for an indoor cricket tournament back in the day. Yeah, maybe.
Very big there.
Yeah, just trying to remember.
ACT Rockets.
Yes, yeah. I think I have. It was many moons ago.
Can get cold there. A man-made city, and I suppose they're all man-made, but manufactured specifically to be the capital, because no one could agree where the capital of Australia could be.
There you go. That's something new today.
Probably knew no one want to move there either. Anyway, coming to come in the third.
This is from what we're watching right now is some elite opening bowling from this Canadian pair. Sun has been so good. And look, I know they might think, oh, do we want to save some overs at the back end? But right now, you've got to keep these two going. This is some impressive bowling. The ball's going both ways and nipping about a bit. So you're seeing Michael Levitt, who yesterday was hitting everything for fun, 3 off 10, and this is not easy.
What a difference today makes. Sana.
He's got a lovely action, a really long, strong, powerful action.
Cracked away through the offside. And that'll be a confidence builder for Levitt as he strikes his first boundary. And at the end of 3 overs, Netherlands are 16 for 1.
Finally gets a ball that's sort of short and wide, so it doesn't have time to move. Hits the pitch, stays dead, and he laces that through the offside. One thing about Levitt, Vinny, when he does hit it, it stays here. Lovely shot.
He has unnatural power, especially in the pool in particular. I thought he was brutal yesterday. There's a card so far. You can see Lancashire listed to about 4. Edwards yesterday 5.
Was Edwards 2.0 yesterday? I can confirm for you there was some highlights watched back at after the game and some shots over cover.
Runs in front of the wicket.
Yeah, it really was 2.0 Edwards yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes about it today if he's required. And yeah, Zach Leon Cachet and Noah Croce. I think Noah Croce is also a very good cricketer. So
I like Croce a lot.
Yeah, plenty of batting.
So talented.
Plenty of batting. Canada need to pick up wickets on regular intervals.
There we go. He's getting the ball to talk. Well, this is up in the air, hanging a long time, but no one can get there. Oh, that's rotten luck really for Canada, who beat Vikram. All ends up there. Hailiger, well, he's frustrated. He can't believe that's found the turf.
He'll be super disappointed because he actually set up for that. They had deep backward square and a sort of deep forward mid-wicket. So they wanted to bounce him out. As here they came running in and lands in the Bermuda Triangle of 3.
Yeah, sure did. I suppose now we do with North America, we're a bit closer to the real Bermuda Triangle.
There you go.
About time. Floating slip in place. Last one past the outside edge. I want to say a quick hello to Phil, who's watching from Adelaide. Nice conditions. You must have been there.
Yep. City of Churches.
Very nice.
Haven't been to the new ground in the last few years. I heard really good things.
I haven't been to the Adelaide Oval since the
Yeah, that's on the bucket list a little bit.
Still retain some of the historical elements, I think, that make it pretty special. It used to have really short square boundaries. Still reasonably short. Driven off the front foot, but deep points back there. We'll keep it to 1. If you'd like to let us know where you're watching from, please jump into the chat, ECN European Cricket Network, and let us know, 'cause I'm sure we've got viewers from all around the world.
And subscribe also if you want to watch more cricket.
We went past another 1,000 recently, 413,000 subscribers now.
Yeah, growing bit by bit.
Well, if you like cricket and you don't like paying for things, I know that you're certainly in that camp.
Well, that's why I subscribed many days ago.
ECN European Cricket Network. Over 3,000 hours of live cricket every year. When too much cricket is barely enough. This one doesn't swing. Yeah, it's pretty much the same ball that went for 5 wides when he bowled to the right-hander earlier. 413,000.
It is a lot.
I will say that when we've done these series in the Netherlands, there's been a bit of a spike.
Yeah, it's been really good to sort of bring our network here to the Netherlands, and we'll show some very high-level cricket. Obviously, we had Ireland and Scotland on the network in an April period. That was an exciting T20 series before the World Cup as well.
Comes after this over wide mid-wicket and gets it pretty well as well. Pitch is just inside. It's 4 runs. Vikram gets his first boundary.
Well, the other day, Vinny, I know you weren't here just yet, but when Vikramjit Singh came out versus Canada, he just took it off, and to make 51 off 20, it was the second quickest Dutch 50 in their history, and he hit basically everything from the middle. He's a good player. He's still only 21 years old. He's got many years. It feels like he's been around for an age.
It does, doesn't it?
But he's got years and years, and he's really sort of slotted into this number 3 spot quite well for the Netherlands.
They got with the comeback ball. Again, kind of set up in a real tacky fashion there, Vikram. Didn't really time it. Partnerships. As you saw, it was 6 wickets down before Canada could put one of any substance together. So Netherlands will be feeling right. If these two can just kind of weather this storm, a few counter punches, they're in really good shape.
Yeah, that's the thing. Canada, despite all the very good bowling, they only got the 1 wicket. They all would have won 2 or 3 in this power play.
Oh, that's a cracking shot from Vikram. Once again, takes on the infield and wins. It's 4 more.
Yeah, beautiful batting, over-pitched, and it's brave. And he times it well enough. A couple of bounces over the rope, just clearing that front leg. He never takes that front leg too far across his stump, so he has access with his hands. He seems very good at getting that elevation. Lovely batting, and that's 4 overs down now. The score is 27 for 1.
I see Chris Ward in there as well. Hopefully you're well. And Dave's corrected me, because apparently since I said that, we're up to 414,000 subscribers. So yeah, don't forget, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll let you know when the cricket is. Spoiler alert, it's all the time. Also, I want to say a quick hello to Alex in Huddersfield, who was a request for a shout out to her. And, you know, the Beast in the chat saying, love to see the associate teams be given more match time with some of the bigger cricketing countries. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with that statement. Here's Sana, who's back. Hit hard. Well, they decide to go. That would have been gone by a mile. It's a tough one. It was actually pretty well fielded by Ravinder Pal Singh, who ran to his non-preferred side. Created the opportunity, but just couldn't take it.
Oh, brilliant fielding from Ravinder Pal Singh. Really good. He moved to his left. He picked it up in one foul swoop, and Levitt had to get the dive out, but it wouldn't have mattered. Direct hit would have been gone. And when you're trying to defend a score in the low 130s, you need everything to go your way. Just 1 more to the total.
Just going out there, based on what Andrew Leonard was telling me earlier, that you can't have shoes that are not the colour of your kit. Now, are they orange?
Yeah, that's close enough
to
the colour.
That's the 70% rule. And the shoe inspector, he's been notified, expect a visit.
I reckon he'd get away with that one.
So quick he wouldn't catch him though. Opens the face this time. Vikram Singh running away, but Looks like it's a comfortable 2.
That's such a trademark Vikram Singh's shot. Vikramjit Singh, it's not the worst ball you'll ever see, but he sort of just stays leg side of the ball, and he's very good at finding gaps in the offside. So 2 more to the total. I do like that they kept Sana on. They realise this is a big partnership. He's got good figures of 2.2, 9 for 11, but he'd love to add a wicket to the column.
Betty in the chat was saying, she'd love to see Netherlands competing in the English county setup. And I think there was a time where that actually was the case.
Oh, yeah, the Pro 40 back in the day.
Yeah.
To be honest, they're that busy with international fixtures now. I don't know if they would be able to. They played that
different
many.
World
yeah,
now for next tier nations. You're right there, actually. Oh. Cracking shot from Vikram Singh. That exploded off the bat. It's more fielding for the crowd, and there's 4 runs for the hosts.
Yeah, shot of the day for me. And you just watch here, that front leg stays leg side of the ball, doesn't really move, so that his hands can get through the line of it. And he smokes that. That's a beautiful shot. He's looking good again. 17 off 11, and he's giving this Canadian team nightmares in this T20 series.
You can't time a ball better than that.
No, that is...
that was absolutely racing to the boundary.
He's got a good blade in his hands. That was an amazing shot. 99 off 93 now. Looks a lot more comfortable.
Sana, a fast bowler will say, bouncer time. Kind of. Beats the bat, hits the thigh pad. They'll get through for a leg bite.
And 1 more to the total, and plenty of batting to come. Netherlands, despite the early wicket, will be feeling pretty comfortable at the moment.
Hello to Chris Schinkel. I know that you'll be watching from right here in the Netherlands.
It's great to have so many people tuning in from so many different parts of the world.
I'll give you another one. We've got Baz, who's watching from Cape Town in South Africa.
Beautiful part of the world, Cape Town.
Been there?
Yep.
I have.
Have you?
I have, actually. You are saying you have, but your eyes are telling me that you are telling a bit of a porky. Table Mountain, amazing. You have. I actually played in the Indoor Cricket World Cup in Cape Town in 2019. My season I played before I was summoned to my commentary career. I didn't want to say, I was going to say kidnapped. I went willingly. We do play in Sweden. Stockholm Syndrome is alive and well. No, I love what I do here. And I absolutely love it. And I also love the spectrum of cricket that we're able to provide on the network. The Shoegate is pending, but right now Sana steaming in to Michael Levitt. This one doesn't really get up. A couple on that end that might have shot through.
Yeah, Levitt's still searching for his natural sort of timing and flow in this innings. He's still there, 9 off 15, played a lovely sort of back foot punch through the offside for 4, but besides that has found the going tough. I still think Canada have fought hard here in this game, considering the position they were in.
Sagar saying, I know where he's from. Yes, I do. It's good to have you with us, as always. And we've got Jascrape watching from Auckland in New Zealand. It's got to be pretty late there. Middle of the night, I think. Sana to finish his 3rd over.
Oh.
Absolutely belted, and Levitt, well, he answers in kind, doesn't he? Vikram cracked one through the covers earlier in the over. Levitt spacks that one through the offside, and 4 runs to finish the 5th over. Netherlands 39 for 1, and you're kind of right, Corey, I agree with you. Canada, they've thrown plenty at the Netherlands, but they don't have a lot to show for it after 5 overs.
It just shows you how small the margins are. That was slightly overpitched, and they cash in as we have a quick look at one of our marquee events at the very end of the year. This is the ECCW, our women's 2nd edition event. Really excited because I'm going to be there this time.
Yes,
I'm really excited.
I'm excited you're going to be there. Now, I've got to say, we had the Melton Shield over the weekend, which was a best of 9 series between the best of Europe and the best of Britain and Ireland. Europe played incredibly well, won 7 games to 2. Netherlands are in Premier Division. Their biggest issue, I think, is a lot of their players go and play club cricket in places like Australia, Southern Hemisphere. That might keep some of their top players out. But, yeah, European Cricket Network, right here, we're committed to developing women's cricket in a big way. It's been on the up and up. And from last year's 5-team tournament, we now have 2 divisions of 5 each. So 10 teams will play in the ECCW, and that's the way we're going to finish the year.
Yeah, fantastic. So do tune in if you want to watch the ECCW 2nd edition, as it does look like there's going to be a little bit of a bowling change here, Vin.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get Akil Kumar bowling for the first time in T20 international cricket.
Good luck to him.
I thought he batted pretty well. I mean, missed hit a full toss, but he seemed pretty cool, calm and collective out there. Seemed confident. Let's see how he deals. With the left-hander Vikram Singh. Vikram on the front foot quickly. Wants 2 here. Probably gets it 2.
Interesting sort of field here for Akil Kumar. Obviously, we're still in the power play, so they're only allowed 2 men back, but deep cover, deep third are the 2 boundary riders, almost televising that he has to bowl it quite wide of off stump. That time, Vikramjit Singh skipped across to the offside to whip it. But yeah, with this sort of field, you can't get too straight.
Goes over the offside this time. Vikramjit Singh hasn't really timed this one, but he will get another couple of runs. I want to say a quick hello to Ben, who's watching from Perth. Of course, that's actually coincidentally both of our hometowns. Good to see you with us. And
giving a few shout-outs today. Being happy.
Everyone's telling us where they're watching from. I asked for it, so I don't mind shouting out.
All our Willow TV friends, if you can't.
Yes.
Well, if you can't write in through Willow TV, you can always get on the YouTube and send us a quick hello as well.
That's correct, saying these games are fun and I'm enjoying the last few days. Well, make sure you subscribe and then the fun will pretty much never stop.
Interesting now. So third man's come into the ring. They've gone to deep mid-off, so still 2 men back on the offside.
Went full. Kind of had to with that field.
It's a tough field to bowl to, I think, to start your career. Deep mid-off in place and deep cover.
I mean, obviously you're encouraged to keep it outside the off stump. That's a no-brainer. But if you give too much length, I think Vikram, he's so good at using the pace and kind of carving away. You've kind of got a wall of 3 behind point. That won't be much use if the ball flies over their heads. Small margins from there for Kumar. Across. Well, this is a pretty tight one. Unfortunately for Kumar, couldn't pick up the ball.
Oh, geez, that was a good race, wasn't it? Kumar and Levitt going head and head. Let's have a close look in the 10-metre dash. I'll tell you what, a clean pickup could have been tight.
Felt like it was going to be tight. I suppose we'll never know. And again, you see Netherlands desperate to squeeze every single run out of this innings. Jacob Lambeth, Karen Jones as well. Also, who's viewing. It's one thing that's a bit unique about ECN is that you can make it a 2-way conversation. You can talk to us, we can talk back. We always love the fact that we have so many viewers taking interest from all around the world. A couple of balls left in this power play. Kumar, pretty strong start.
Yeah, I like what I see so far from Kumar. He's trying to get it up there full. He's trying to get the ball to swing. Obviously, a very tough over to come in and bowl when you're bowling to 2 set batters in the last over of the power play, but he's showing a good account of himself. Love to get out of this delivery here, not conceding a boundary. It'll be interesting to see what Canada do as soon as the power play ends. Surely they'll go with the spin of Saad bin Zafar.
Scoots through, doesn't it? Under the bat of Levitt. End of the power play. Netherlands in the box seat. 44 for 1 after 6. And I promise I won't keep doing these, but one more. We've got follow through with LVB watching from Worcester. Have you ever been to Worcester?
No, I have not.
I said that because I haven't been there, and I felt like I was bragging that I had been to everywhere. So,
okay.
So I haven't been to Worcester. Have I?
No, I don't think you have.
Okay. We did have a European Cricket Series in England this year. That was cool. I know that you would have loved to have joined us, but you've got a pretty busy schedule. You're a busy man.
Yeah, looking forward to getting back sort of on the tour with you all soon for more commentary around Europe.
Well, you'll be obviously doing the Euros in Spain, but we'll work together in Malta maybe later in the year.
Yep. Looks like a bowling change. Haveen Kumar been summoned to the attack.
It's an adventure, though. That's the thing. We go to 20-plus countries a year. So if you're not really sure what we're doing here on ECN, dig into it a little bit. I think you'll be surprised, shocked, and I know you'll be amazed. Anyway, yeah, change of pace with Parveen coming on.
Yeah, so they're going to obviously rely on Kumar here and Saad bin Zafar, 2 left arm tweakers to try and get the breakthrough, but also get the dots sort of rolling in this middle section now. The power play has finished. The field is spread. The Netherlands, one feature of their batting, they're very quick between the wickets. Very quick indeed. So they're going to have to be very alert in the field, Canada.
Swing and miss first up. As this partnership so far is worth 36.
They're steady.
Not sure there's anything on that, but he just played right across that one.
Yeah, it's a loose stroke. He'll be disappointed with that, Vikramjit Singh. You saw him just sort of remonstrate with himself and want to play with a straight bat. There's no one in the ring on the leg side besides 45. But yeah, that's loose. He's a better player than that. And, well, the skipper has seen enough. He said, you know what? Let's get into slip here and see if we can prize out a wicket.
Takes this one down. It's a tight single. This could be gone. It is gone. Vikram's run himself out. Well, there was no real need to take on this run. And even though they go immediately, the bowler was snapped back into position. And something from nothing for the tourists as Vikram is run out for 22. The score 44 for 2.
What a pickup from Paveen Kumar. A brilliant pickup off the half volley. Great decision from Rizwan Akram. I think Vikramjit Singh just got a bit twitchy there. There was never a single. He actually cut that straight to cover. I just touched on how good they've been between the wickets, but that was a suicidal single.
Yeah, it's kind of turning from the ambitious to the insane, really, at this stage. Because that fielder was quite tight in there at cover. Let's have a look. Whose idea is this?
It's his. He said yes straight away. It's just a complete misread. The single was never on, and really good pickup.
Yeah, I thought, no, was it Levitt's idea? But no, it was Vikram, and all Levitt did was respond to the call, and he had to. So I suppose it had to be pretty much a perfect bit of fielding. It was, and it results in a wicket. Here's Scotty Edwards coming out at the number 4 position. I thought he would come out at 4. I know they listed Zach Lancashire at 4, but he didn't hit him well yesterday.
A different sort of Edwards yesterday, 2.0 Edwards we were calling it, hitting it over cover and striking it above 200. But this is probably a perfect time for him to come to the crease. We know traditionally one of the best players in the country, if not in the world, at playing spin. And you imagine a lot of spin's going to come into the attack. He'll look to work it round where Levitt will probably try and stay as the aggressor. Really, really good pickup that from Kumar to affect that run
Obviously, being a spinner, he doesn't follow through as far as a fast bowler would. Didn't have as much to cover, but it's almost like a keeper without gloves the way he picked that up. It's not Edwards on strike, of course. The run out was affected at the non-striker's end. Bring the tight mid-wicket. Oh, he's bowled him. It's gone straight through the gate, just slid on with the arm. And now it's Levitt that has to go as this game's taken a twist in the 7th over. It's 44 for 3.
Brilliant bowling, angling it in at the stumps. Levitt caught on the crease, sort of looking to run that in between cover and point. Maybe should have been punching it straight. And 2 wickets in the over. 1 a run out, 1 bowled, and Levitt will be disappointed with that.
Just kind of skated off the surface, didn't it? We see left armers do this all the time. Not really looking to turn the ball in a big way. Levitt will be kicking himself there. Kind of didn't really get too much going with the feet. Just kind of tried to work it through the offside, but he loses his pole. And Netherlands now 44 for 3. This game's at a crossroads as it will be Zach Lancashire coming out at number 5.
Well, you got game on here, Vinny. We definitely do. I know Andrew Leonard's been talking about this sort of middle order to lower order for the Netherlands, who they're still trying to find players that can fill that role. Zach Leon Cachet's come into the squad. Ryan Klein is playing as a batter, but traditionally he hasn't been just a batter. So there's going to be some pressure here. If they can keep going like this, Canner, and pick up the odd wickets, we might have a really enthralling afternoon on our hands.
First ball against spin for Zach. And, well,
is it spin or are you just, is that angle? It's tricky. Left arm sort of in duckers here.
Brought that up because his first ball he faced in an orange shirt was against spin. Couldn't break the tie. Let's call the over. Carefully watches this onto the bat. Fantastic over that from Paveen Kumar. A wicket maiden, but really a double wicket maiden with the run out after 7 overs. Netherlands 44 for 3.
Yeah, they've gifted a couple of wickets there, Netherlands. Vikramjit Singh, a suicidal single, cost himself his wicket, and then Levitt sort of playing down the wrong line. In Canada, well, If you had have said they'd be in this position after 6 for 35 earlier today, you would have said no chance. They're doing really well here. If they can prize out Scott Edwards for less than, say, 10, we definitely have game on here.
Partnerships. Obviously, blown a couple of wickets in and over, but this is where you need that rearguard action. Great opportunity also, I think, for Zach Leon Cachet.
Yeah, that's one thing. This offers opportunity for someone different to put their hand up instead of the traditional top three. Maybe it's going to be Cachet, maybe it'll be Kroos, maybe it'll be Ryan or Kyle Klein. But to do that, first things first, they're also going to have to get through Edwards. And yesterday, player of the match, batted maybe his best ever innings in a Dutch shirt. Definitely in the T20 format anyway.
Well, maybe a sign of his changing of luck. He also won the toss for the first time in a long time. Right now, he's facing his firstborn. It will be more spin with Saad bin Safar. Gets down. First up from Scott Edwards. This game certainly has a different energy now.
He's a good bowler, Saad bin Safar. He's a very, very talented bowler. And I think we're going to see spin in tandem for the next 30 minutes or so. Pressure here.
He sneaks this one past the bat of Edwards. I want to say quick hello to Bipin, who's watching from Nepal. I want to say namaste to you. He said, yeah, maybe I could come and do some commentary next to Lenny. Lenny's huge in Nepal. Maybe we could all go together. Attack you die. Bowled him. Fantastic bowling, and Canada are on fire. They've been quiet long enough, and what a difference a day makes. Fresh out of luck is Edwards, who goes for a duck. It's 44 for 4.
Well, brilliant bowling. Another one that sneaks through. The stumps are disturbed, and Edwards goes for a duck here. They are going to have to rely on different players to get them over the line here. Let's have a closer look. The pitch is on middle and off, and he's just caught on the crease, sort of not sure whether to go forward or back, and a really clever bowling. He is happy with that.
Yeah, he takes off on the long march to nowhere. Saad bin Zafar, he sends the Dutch skipper packing. And the Netherlands are getting a stern test. And there's going to have to be some players that haven't really had too many opportunities lately that are going to have to try and turn this around. Noah Kroos comes to the crease at number 6.
Is that 3 for nothing? Is that the collapse that we've got here? 3 for none off the last 8 deliveries?
Yeah, they were 44 for 1, and in the last 7 deliveries, actually, they've lost 3 for none.
Yeah, you're right, Vinny. That sort of top 4 of O'Dowd, Levitt, Vikramjit Singh and Edwards have done a lot of the heavy lifting in this batting lineup for a long time. Someone else is going to have to step up, and, well, some big pressure as Kroos comes out to the middle.
It's going to be spin at both ends for a while. Noah almost nicks this one through to the keeper as well. And it's the energy now, and it's infectious for the Canadians at the moment.
That wasn't far away either. Another batter sort of on the crease, wanting to open the front leg and play it deep. Sort of from what I'm seeing from this wicket, they might need to get a little bit more forward here. The ball looks like it's skidding on and getting through the gate often. Big pressure here for the Dutch.
Still no run. This has been such a weird game. To think we started with back-to-back wicket maidens, and they're here out of nowhere. I mean, let's wait to see what happens this ball, but we could be getting back-to-back wicket maidens. That's exactly what it'll be. Netherlands stuck in the quicksand at the moment, and it's Canada pulling something out. It's 44 for 4.
Well, maiden as well. To both the bowlers. Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? So this game has just flipped completely. It's all the 4s, 44 for 4, and a cluster of wickets for the Dutch. You can see there, and they are nosediving under that red line. Credit to Canada, who've just kept on fighting.
Well, there are some beautiful-looking mountains in Canada, I can tell you that much, and resembling the Netherlands innings so far. This is where, I mean, they always say, add 2 wickets onto the score, and how does it look? Pretty ugly for the Dutch fans. Parveen continues. Don't mind that option, actually, because... Oh, they'll actually get a leg by. Rocket it off the pad.
Yeah, no 45 in place, and because he jumps outside off stump early, you're never going to get LBW, so I don't mind that option either, but both these left armers are thinking one thing and one thing only. I'm going to hone in at the stumps. How's your technique?
Maybe that bit of natural variation comes in, whether it slides in or maybe it does grip and straighten a little bit. Off the 44. plenty of work still to be done. Pushes down the ground, just beat the man in the circle and get a single.
Yeah, they thought about two. They'll settle for one as Kroos is off the market. Yeah, the word's opportunity. The Dutch, this middle to lower order. You've got the Kleins listed in next. They get an opportunity to show how deep they bat. Canada, for the very first time in this series, oh, they're ahead.
There's certain cautiousness that's taken over as well. And that kind of plays into Canada's hands as well. You see that run rate required has just jumped over 7.5 now.
I think they'll be okay if they have to go for 8s or 8.5s in the last 5 overs. This is just a period they know they have to be pretty streetwise.
Well, you say that, but he goes reverse. Bit of a shout. Umpire says no.
And that one also outside the line of off stump and missing off stump. He actually got this one to turn a little bit. Plenty of pressure right now.
It's a messy looking reverse as well. Imagine that kind of balloons off a glove. Gaucher still yet to score. I don't think they run here.
It's actually just flicked Noah Kroos's bat, so he said no, which is fair enough.
But what would have been interesting is if it caused a run out at the keeper's end. Yeah. Moraldilemmas.com.
Pressure. Oh, both of these two very good tweakers.
Good sportsmanship, though, from Noah.
Very good. Yep.
He did obstruct the ball unintentionally. Was within his rights to run, but turned it down. Last ball of the over. It'll be one. I think there's two, but it's not on. Another really tight over from Team Canada. And the Netherlands are 47 for 4 after 9.
Isn't it amazing what a run out does? They were looking so comfortable, but the big thing for me, obviously you have the two left arm off spinners coming in tandem, Vinny. What's the Vikramjit Singh getting run out there? He's the left-hander in the middle. You lose the lefty and it makes the matchups harder. That run out could be crucial in the context of this game. Look at that lineup. Kyle Klein, Ryan Klein. They aren't. Well, Ryan Klein selected as a batter, but traditionally hasn't been selected as a batter in the past. So he'll be feeling twitchy. This is going to be a big test for them in Canada. Credit to them to keep fighting in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that run out of Vikram, it's a real unforced error, isn't it? So far, it's had a few knock-on consequences.
I think the different wicket, this is just a different wicket to the other day and just a bit more purchase for the bowlers.
Use his feet this time, Kroos, to get a bit closer to the pitch. And with not so much turn, you're unlikely to feel like you get beat on the outside edge.
I like that more than opening the front leg and trying to play it from the crease and punching it through covers or through point. I think that might be the option versus these very talented bowlers. So maybe we'll see more of these players use their feet. Yeah, good again. Good again. Get forward. There isn't too much bounce. Keep going straight. Tell you what, Vinny, you're going to have a very exciting last 10 overs on your hand, that's for sure.
Yeah, sure will be. 50's up for Netherlands. Following a good kind of pace at the moment.
It's quick. It's really quick. Trying to keep you trapped on that crease. Well, 2 balls remaining. They're going to need 80-odd off the last 10.
There's the reverse, bit risky with the slip in place, but he beats the slip. He also beats the infield. Running away and a fantastic stop. It'll be an easy 3. And that athletic stop saves 1 run for Canada.
Just takes that pressure off a little bit. Release the valve. Good fielding. Ravinder Paul Singh there. And 3 more to the total. Yeah, tell you what, we've got a very exciting 10 overs to come in this game.
Last ball of the 10th. Here's the call, but again, shouldn't get there. They don't get there. And Canada, they'll be believing, but still plenty of work to do. 10 overs down, it's 54 for 4. Big thanks to Corey Ruckers for his contributions in this series. I know that he'll be watching the rest of this game with plenty of interest. Let's have a look at what's coming up in the European Cricket Series. Of course, we started. Day one is actually in action right now in Austria. And, well, we'll continue tomorrow from the Sabang Cricket Ground. Donnerstadt, defending champions, they're a very good cricket team, taking on Lords, who are playing for the very first time in ECS cricket. Obviously, a lot of Austrian Daredevils fans out there. And, of course, who could forget the aptly named Cricket Club, who are also in action tomorrow. You can join Nish and Rico for day two. In the air, false shot. It just pops over cover. This time, it is hit so slowly, they will come back for two. And coming back into commentary box to take us through to the conclusion of this game is Andrew Leonard.
Well, hello, Vinny. What a difference 18 overs makes. Because we left you, and at one point, a low of 35 for 6. Canada worth of bat. We thought we had a very one-sided game. Now it's very much game on. Two spinners have bowled nicely. Sabin Safar's had a good trip. He's had a good tour, but Parveen Kumar, who we're seeing with the ball for the first time, a good late order fight back with the bat. And what isn't as easy a wicket as yesterday. Bit of turn, there's a bit in there. The run out never helps you, which was a great decision, I've got to say, from Rizwan Akram, who was in just the right position to give it out, only out by, what, 6 or 8 inches?
Yeah, it was a very good decision live. Remember, the umpires that don't have the benefit of the technology for line decisions. And sometimes you see umpires at all levels, if they don't have the technology, they kind of get spooked by those and start second-guessing themselves. But it was just a blown call, really, by Vikram, and he pays the price. That was good bit of fielding, but safely home. No Crows. It's a real opportunity for him. Talked about that, and obviously with Zach Leon Cachet at the other end to build a partnership of substance and meaning for the Netherlands to keep this unbeaten streak alive. Called a wide, even though some might think that a big movement outside the off stump. Maybe this is a bit of a harsh call.
That's fine. It's a long way down the leg side. This is also a big chance for the Dutch to show that one of the areas that we've identified as a big weakness of theirs, and I think they probably even admit to it themselves, the soft underbelly of their lower middle order, they've got a chance to win a game here. One of these two, or maybe Ryan Klein in next, is going to have to get at least 40 plus. Good individual performance and a good partnership needed.
Once again, right now, the Canada team is kind of jumping out of their skins. Parveen hurls himself to his right to save that single.
This is just why I love T20 cricket. I love all cricket, but a T20 can turn around so quickly. And as I said, this game was over, Vinny. It was all but over at 35 for 6. But Canada, great credit to them. They've shown character with the bat, and energy with the ball, enthusiasm. All of a sudden, they're up and about in the field. Two left-arm spinners bowling in tandem. They're turning the screw, and they're bringing that required run rate into play too.
Yeah, 58 for 4 after 11. This is the state of play with this tri-series, of course. 6 matches in total. Robin involving these three nations. If they do chase this down, we know that they'll secure the series. Still with the game to go against the USA. Yeah, it's a good point you make there, Lenny, about thinking a game's over before it is. And people used to think that in short-form cricket, you don't really have time for those ebbs and flows. You might get a multi-day match, first-class match, test match. Get a couple out here to a deep backward point. But quite the contrary. If anything, the ebbs and flows, they just come quicker. And we've had a couple of turning points in this game already.
It's been an amazing, complete seesaw, really, hasn't it? At one point, I think it was 97% to 3%, wasn't it, in the first innings? We got that, or 93-7. It was something incredibly dominant, given that there was still 3/4 of the match to go.
You could kind of see the percentage as well in the first innings, kind of eking back up piece by piece to round about, I think, started this in the low 20s. Canada, certainly a lot more than that right now. just starting to tick a bit more, though. There was a moment, more than a moment, where they were stuck on 44. And quite remarkably, I know you were with me for the start of the game, and we had back-to-back wicket maidens. Well, we had back-to-back wicket maidens here, kind of out of nowhere. In fact, one of them was a double wicket maiden because it did include the wicket of Vikram, which was a run-out as well. These two starting to build a foundation of recovery for the Netherlands. That was hit hard, but well fielded.
I thought Akil Kumar bowled nicely as well, the debutant. Plenty to work with there. But it's been Parveen Kumar into the side, much more experienced, 10 years older than the debutant. Even though he's still early in his international career. Sad bin Safar's had a great tour. He's been very, very consistent himself, and Kalim Sana by a distance the standout bowlers, but they've got some support all of a sudden. And as a consequence, Dutch have a real fight in their hands. They don't want to let this get up to 10 runs required per over.
Yeah, resilience is important, and now the Dutch are fighting back. That's the end of the 12th over, and the score is 63 for 4.
Yeah, the question is, what are they thinking as to the remainder of the order? It's never a good sign when Paul van Meekeren has the pads on. And he's listed, we reckon he might be at number 10. It could be an indication he'll actually be in at 9 above Brandon Glover. Daniel Dorham doesn't offer a huge amount with the bat. Kyle Klein, not as good a striker of the ball as his brother Ryan, who we'll see in next at number 7. For the Dutch to get home here, somebody needs to do something pretty special. And look at those strike rates, 11 off 17, 6 off 11. It's not inspiring confidence. Where are the boundaries coming from?
What I will say, though, is that these two spinners that have wreaked a bit of havoc, they've only got one over left each. So this, you probably do have an over or two just to still think to make sure you don't lose any more wickets. Having said that, we see quite a remarkable reverse sweep that gets patted back down the pitch.
Well, it was the snooker cue that came out, wasn't it? Right off the toe end of the bat. And it's not a conventional forward defence, but the end result is the same. Look at that. It's a great camera angle, that one.
Modern cricket. So I think if you can even squeeze 5 and over off these two, slightly dodgy two coming in here, but they'll get there. Then they're forced to make changes again. Now, I got to say, I like what I saw from Akil Kumar in his first over in T20 international cricket. Obviously, you've got Sana and Haliger to come back as well, but in different kind of conditions, slightly older ball. Won't quite be working the same way, but I just think at this stage, you're desperate not to lose another wicket to these spinners. And they just might, because this is up in the air. Fielder goes back with the flight and takes the catch. So Zach Lancashire is going to have to go. It's a wonderfully judged catch, and the spin twins combine to snare another Dutch wicket. Sad bin Zafar with the catch. And that partnership gets snuffed out, Netherlands, 65 for 5.
Another really good catch. We've seen a couple today. And not altogether dissimilar to the one that Kyle Klein held down at fine leg. This time it was an extra cover. Need to go a long way back. It's not an easy shot for Lion Cachet. He's hitting into the wind. Nobody's really had success doing that throughout this leg of the series. It's been held at Kampong, and ZLC can't believe what he's done. He's given it away in the final over of the left arm spinner. Where has he been for the entire trip, Parveen Kumar?
I just think it might just be a misreading of the game situation. I think it's unnecessary risk at this stage. I think sometimes you've got to tip your hat and say, look, yeah, you've got the better of us in these middle overs, but if we can survive them, you know, we're still looking at kind of 8s or something like that. You know, Corey was saying in the commentary earlier, they kind of back themselves to go at 8s for the last 6 overs. If they still have those wickets in hand. Ryan Klein comes to the crease at a crucial juncture in this game.
He never got set, did he, coming down the track? He ended up actually, when you come down the track to a left arm spinner, you really want to go towards him, towards the direction of the ball, but the problem was his feet stayed outside the leg stump. As a consequence, he was trying to hit it away from his body. All he could do was smash it miles up into the air. Well judged catch.
Klein, can he get off the mark? And he will. More backed up.
Now there's a real opportunity for Ryan Klein. We spoke to him for about 20 minutes after the opening game. He came in a completely different scenario in the reverse of this fixture. He'd waited throughout the whole ODIs, didn't get an opportunity there, and he was dismissed for a first ball duck when the scores were tied.
Yeah.
But now he's got a chance to win a game for the Netherlands. He spent a lot of time carrying drinks. He's usually only ever been selected for the Netherlands as a bowler, but he's unable to bowl at the moment. So in a George Dockrell-esque way, he's trying to change his game and show that he can win games with the bat. He's averaging over 40 in the top class at VCC, where he's had a really good season. But it's a different level, a completely different level, and a lot of pressure on him.
Just want to mention that Jake's watching from Estonia, saying hello to Lenny. Really enjoying the technical style of commentating. It's a very informative way to watch. I know Jacob loves watching cricket on ECN, and it's lovely to get that feedback. Right now, Crows squeeze another single out.
Yeah, great to hear from everyone tuning in and enjoying the action. But what a spell it's been by this man. He had to wait a little while to come in and show his wares. The all-rounder bowls 4 overs, 2 for 10. Career best figures for him in T20I cricket. And look at that, what a spell. Maiden in there too. We'll see one more from Sad bin Safar. I just wonder, are Canada thinking, should we get more spin into the game? Is Harsh Thacker an option?
Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps, if it's working, we stick with it. And that could be an option they go to. Because you feel it'll certainly be a different feel when they go back to pace. And whether that works for one team or the other, it's hard to tell. I know Billy Venter was in the chat and was asking, what's the latest rule about the sideline when you're bowling? I think the reason is sometimes we'd see that the spinners, particularly Kumar, the front foot would be touching the sideline. That's not an issue. It's just where your back foot lands. Your back foot has to be within the sideline, but your front foot doesn't. Thacker does come on to bowl now. So I suppose what this does as well is you leave 1 over of Sad bin Safar up your sleeve as well.
I think he might bowl the next.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I think just because of he's bowled predominantly from this end, but he's almost kind of ceded that right to bowl from this end. These are the more difficult overs for the spinners to bowl because the batters are hitting with the breeze, particularly over long off and over extra cover. It's going to give you real assistance. But there is such pressure on Klein's shoulders now.
You can't afford to be too conservative either, with that rate having crept out past 9.5 required per over now.
We spoke about it at length in the previous days, Vinny. This Dutch side's been so good in every single way, but there's no doubt they're missing a batter.
That gets stopped as well. Tight one, but they'll get through for a single. Great work by the big man, Aaron Johnson, diving down to his left.
Does well. Doesn't move particularly well because of all those knee injuries he's had, but body on the line here. Canada are just desperate to really rescue something from the wreckage of this tour. It's not quite Lazarus rising from the ashes here, but there's been nothing for them to cheer at all. If anything, Vinny, for me now, they're favourites, and they're favourites in a big way. It's 10 and over with only 5 wickets in hand, and 2 very inexperienced batters by an international standard at the crease.
And they're going to have a conscious mental shift to attack as well. How's that going to go? You can't just keep padding and looking for kind of ones max. You need to try and find that boundary and over to keep on top of that required rate. And for Canada, okay, let's say they pull this out, they're going to run into a USA team that really were taken to the cleaners yesterday last time out against the Dutch. And if they were able to do that as well, then and suddenly, you know, there's kind of something to take out of what's been a rather disappointing tour so far. End of 14 overs. Thacker does a good job coming on as a 6 bowling option. 9 for 3 for him, and it's 2 for 5.
Isn't it amazing what confidence does as well? Just that small final delivery. In previous games, that would have been a single. Akhil Kumar comes in, attacks it full of vigour and verve. You saw from the runworms there, they're very much moving in diverging paths. And picks it up one-handed, saves the single. This is the quality and standard of cricket we expected from Canada on this tour. Remember, they beat Ireland in that World Cup less than probably about 6 weeks ago now.
And with Thacker going so well, potentially you could still bowl 4 overs a spin in this last 6 overs if it's working for you.
I think they'll probably bowl him 2 or possibly 3. They won't want to impose upon the debutant, still very young, all 4. But I'd be surprised if he bowls a full allocation himself.
I'd be surprised as well, but if he keeps rocking out 3-run overs,
Yeah.
I think that you stick with him. He's got the hot hand. Something's got to give here. We'll see a boundary or a wicket fall pretty shortly. Down the leg side.
Yeah, that's just been the one slight area of weakness from Sad Bin so far. Points he's been just too straight. He's bowled quite a few extras, picked off into the leg side.
Excellent pickup. Everything's kind of clicking at once now. The stops are coming in the infield. And Canada, well, they're right on top right now.
And again, it's Parveen Kumar. Amazing what a difference there is between this fielding performance and what we've seen throughout this tour.
Again, just looking for one and not finding it. And this is starting to get really out of control now. That required rate creeps over 11 for the first time. Klein 2 off 7 since he's come out there. Again, just looking to work it. Gets a little something on it. Leg by signalled.
Amazing how you can never quite predict how a game's going to go, because you think about that first innings, you think about what we've seen throughout every single match over the last 2 weeks. There was only one result you'd expect. But now Canada are monster favourites, huge favourites. It's 2 runs a ball are the best part of it. Johnson doesn't look to be moving particularly fluently, often doesn't. And 5 wickets in hand, and neither of these 2 batters are looking in any way like they're going to be able to hit boundaries.
Well, they haven't really tried yet. That's the thing. They've just looked to work. But I mean, this is where the rubber hits the road, really. You're going to have to take a risk. Again, have to limit themselves. Want to, not there. Another great over. What a spell from Saad bin Zafar. He'll finish 1 for 15 off his 4 overs. And with 5 overs remaining, Netherlands, they're miles behind, 75 for 5.
Gonna need something special. That's what we've got to look forward to tomorrow. Reminder as well, I think some people might have missed it for today. It's a 2 p.m. local time start. So particularly if you're going to be watching that North American derby from there in the United States or Canada, that will be, let me work that out, on the East Coast. That's going to be 8 a.m. at start time.
5 o'clock on the West Coast? I thought it would. I thought it would be. Are they 6 hours behind or 5?
Well, 6 hours from here, 5 to the UK and Ireland. So
yeah, correct. So
yeah, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Oldest rivalry in sport.
Clipped away. This is going to test the fielder. He's ready for the test. And it was struck pretty well. And no surprises, they go back to Tucker to bowl another over.
Also some good captaincy here from Curtin. Curtin was often hidden in the ring, but he's got himself into one of the high trafficked areas there, and he's their best fielder.
Worked away. Once again, it's only a single, and every time it's only a single, that rate creeps up.
To get 12 and over, you almost certainly need 2 boundaries and over. You definitely need 1. You're very rarely keeping up with that rate with 1s and 2s. And dots are absolute killers at this stage. They've been a little bit, they've been insipid, haven't they, in this chase? A bit of a lackadaisical nature of the single from Vikramjit Singh. A little bit complacent maybe, and towards the tail end of that first innings, they just looked a bit flat. The 2 games in 2 days possibly becoming a factor.
Well, I hope you're sitting down. That's 64 balls since the last boundary. Over 10 overs since the last boundary. And we're talking needing multiples and over. It's going to have to be a huge turnaround. In fact,
Vinny, there's been 5 boundaries in this second innings. There hasn't been a maximum yet. Remarkable.
Choose the call. We'll get it this time. It comes into the keeper, leg it out, and even those 5 boundaries, we had 1 4 in the third. We had 2 fours in the fourth and 2 fours in the fifth. Since then, nada.
Can't think of any T20s where that's happened. Yes, it's a different surface, it's a more challenging surface, but you have to think of the way in which Canada battled back in that first innings. They found plenty of runs in the latter half, and in the last 5 in particular.
I think the thing is here, it's not like they can even shape to play an attacking shot at the moment. They seem to be quite reactive, don't they, to this spin attack. And I think we probably will see pace come back as we get to the end of 16 overs. It's 82 for 5.
Well, the only other option is for Nicholas Curtin to pull a rabbit from the hat and say, I'm actually going to bowl this 17th myself, and then just leave 2 at the end, probably 1 for Hayliger, 1 for Sana, who's great at the death. He'll consider it, but the reality is he'll probably go back to one of the seamers, probably Akil Kumar. Looks like he's marking his run-up out. Wouldn't necessarily be the worst option, because the Dutch batters would have had to hit into the wind, and they just haven't looked like scoring a boundary off the spinners at all.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable situation for these Dutch batters. It's almost like, I can understand you want to consolidate to an extent, but then you've kind of got to pick a moment to make a stand. And I just feel they've left it too long without even really trying. Now, if that risk backfires, of course, you're disappointed, but at least you're giving yourself a chance of staying with the rate. Right now, I'm going to need a really big over at least, I think, to stay in the game. 13 and over required off the last 4.
Well, this is the over for me, this and maybe 18 that have to go. I'm not sure how many you're going to get off the likes of a Kalim Sana. And if you're going to target somewhere, it has to be the leg side. I know even though we've come across the 2 pitches, it just, with the wind generally piling that direction, it's kind of coming over Akil Kumar's left shoulder. Kind of in a, if you think of it, almost a long off to fine leg direction. So you've got to try hit with that wind. So as a consequence, with fine leg and square leg up in the circle, you're going to have to find a way to manipulate it to the leg side. Whether that's stepping across the crease or coming down the track. 51 off 24, tall task for the Dutch.
Get 1 here, but only 1. Again, just trying to find the pace of the new bowler. These 2 have combined for 21 off 33 at a strike rate of 63.6 runs per 100 balls. I just haven't been able to get that production. This game's crept away. In fact, you can argue now they're the longest of long shots.
What an opportunity for the young man on debut, Akil Kumar, the star of the under-19s a few years back in 2000. That was down in South Africa. Got a real chance to impact this game for his country.
Goes to reverse. His luck would have it, finds the fielder. Big risk for no reward. Just another single. It's quite a remarkable boundary drought, isn't it? Because when Vikram was there and striking the ball so effortlessly, then also made some nice shots. You can really kind of trace things back to that moment of Vikram running himself out, and since then it's all fallen apart for the Netherlands.
13s per over. You need a lot of boundaries. They're not getting any.
This one is punched and well fielded down there. Fielder goes to ground, allow 2, but they still don't allow a boundary, Team Canada.
If you watch Canada in the ODIs, you won't believe it's pretty much the same field on the pitch. Okay, yes, the debutants come in, and also Parveen Kumar, who wasn't in that ODI squad. They've actually had a big impact, these 2 coming in, but just from a fielding perspective, they look so poor in the field, Vinny, in those ODIs. Much, much better here today.
It's hit reasonably well as well, but once again finds the fielder. Don't get more than 1.
But again, this goes back to my point, Vinny. They're not targeting the areas of the ground. They're going to get a boundary. There's a deep backward point in place. There's a deep extra cover. And the youngsters have been instructed to come in and bowl at a 6-stump line. There has to be some innovation. I don't really like the reverse scoop innovation, because it's a high-risk shot in terms of how many times you'll implement it. You've got to get across your stumps. You've got to hit to the leg side here.
Ramps on as well. Or this is another way you might get a boundary. Throws the hands of it off the outside half of the bat. And that finally breaks the boundary drought. It's 4 to Crows.
Just a bit full, wasn't it? And Kroos, he's probably trying to hit this to the covers, but it comes off an outside edge. You could argue for Curtin, could think about getting deep third back too with this line that's being bowled. I just don't know who'd come up then. Saad bin Safar is going to actually send deep backwards, square back. Even though Curtin's the captain, Saad bin Safar, the former captain, still kind of very much having his influence on the field. Mid-off comes up. Now you got to come down the track. You got to pump it up the ground towards us, Vinny.
That breaks the drought then. It was 70 balls without a boundary. 70. There's a reverse, as you said, probably low percentage. End of 17. Netherlands, 91 for 5. I just don't think you win too many T20 internationals when you have a 70-ball barren streak.
You've just got a boundary. You've just seen mid-off come up it.
Come on. Big yeah, out of stock, yeah. Bought it. Yeah, door for closing. Bro, grading and shopping. No, bro. Neo trading.
Real action is happening in the stock markets. Download the Kotak Neo app and start Neo trading. जो तेज हैं, वो आगे हैं. Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Being dots.
Well, mid-off up, I mean, yeah, it's a more percentage shot to play in orthodox fashion and back yourself on the drive.
Medium pace, down the track, charge him, hit him straight down the ground, bomb him for 6. All of a sudden it's 42, rather than being 42 off 18, it's 36 off 18. And you're back in the game. Now this is the over that has to go. And for Ryan Klein in particular, who's got a bit of a reputation as a power hitter, brought about from the top class, he has to find the boundary.
Parker does get a third. That was my contention, that if you kept bowling tight, they'll keep bowling him, so he does get a third. Dive from Klein, gets him back for 2. Klein, I've seen him with my own eyes. I know he strikes the ball very, very well, but it's always at the moment he's kind of checking his shot. It's not kind of backing himself to go through with the stroke.
Hasn't played an aggressive stroke yet in this inning, 17 balls. I'm not saying it's easy, and I know there's a man at long on. There's a big gap between him and deep mid wicket. You got to go over cow corner here, get the long handle out, whether it's a slog sweep. And what Ryan Klein's asking is that man on the field or not? And he's right to ask that. That's a sub fielder. He's got to get off.
Yeah, he's not wearing the vest, is he either?
No, he's probably just gone off.
Okay. Goes over the offside. This will be a boundary. Is it the start of something? Is there a late run? Is there a late twist here in match 4? Klein with his first boundary.
This is the big over that the Dutch need, and it's kick-started 6 off 2. Can he follow it up? Still yet to see a 6 in the chase. They're just hanging around in the chase. They still need 13 and a halves. 2 more boundaries in this over, despite the brilliance of Kalim Sana. They'll bowl one of the last 2. The Dutch could creep over the line. Game on again.
Now whips this away, but finds the fielder. Slight fumble. To either way. Does get Klein back on strike though. He's winning this battle at the moment with Tucker.
Vinny, you won't believe it, but this is already a career best for Ryan Klein with the bat in international cricket. I know he's only played 18 internationals, including today. The majority of those he's batted down at numbers 9, 10, 11. But he's evolving his game now.
Punches this. Canada pretty happy to concede the single at this stage. Hundreds up for Netherlands, but plenty more work to do.
The 2 biggest gaps in the ground for me are the gap between long off and long on, probably about 50 yards, and then long on and deep mid.
Chances this one, Crows. Again, just a single.
You have to hit down the ground with the wind. He's done the right thing in terms of using his feet, but even there he's trying to hit to the offside. So the place you're going to get reward here is hitting straight and hitting with the wind. They need a maximum. They probably need it from this ball.
Just a circling. Ball if ever. Last ball of the 18th. Again, works it. 2 max, won't even be that. Slips over on the turn, end of 18, 102 for 5. And Lenny, probably a good time to mention those last 2 overs of the first innings when they were 7 down going into the 19th over. And Klein, who they did bowl out early, he went for 13. And then Van Meekeren went for 15. That was with 8 down starting the 20th over. So those 28 runs off the last 2 overs really coming back to bite the Netherlands. At the time, it didn't really seem like too big of a deal. Have a look at the way their run rate just took an upward turn in those last 2 overs. They're pretty much bang on as far as the comparisons after 18 overs.
It was 104 for 7 in the first innings. It's 102 for 5. If anything, with the extra wickets in hand, the Dutch in some ways in a better position. But 28 off the last 2. And I think this is a good call. I like this call. You'll say, hold on, why is Kaleem Sana not bowling the 20th? The reason why I'm happy with this call, if Sana bowls a good 19th, he can almost ice the game.
I also think this is his end.
Well, he's a world-class bowler, Vinny. He really is, and he's good at the death. He'll most likely come around the wicket and angle the ball in. Klein or Kroos are going to need something remarkable here. Klein's got his strike rate up over a run of ball, but it's not going to be enough unless he can find some maximums. Still cannot believe the Dutch are yet to hit a 6 in this chase.
More pace in can mean more pace out as well. We know that. And it was actually the openers coming back that kind of bit the Netherlands in the first innings. So will history repeat? Sana, I love watching him live for the first time. He's a real exciting new ball bowler. Comes back to do a job though at the death.
A lot of protection on the leg side, Vinny. You can probably tip and run 2s into the leg side, but they need more than 2s. Long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square out. The only man in the circle on the leg side is the short fine leg. And 2 in the deep on the off.
Now or never, 19th over. He's bowled him, and Sana gets brought back and does the job. Gets rid of Klein for 22, and the Netherlands, well, now it's getting quite far-fetched. As Klein walks back, it's 102 for 6.
Majestic bowling. This is left-arm bowling of the highest quality. You talk about nailing the block hole, nailing the Yorker. That has probably pitched right on the popping crease, right on the white line. Doesn't get any better than that. Ally that to the angle in from the left armer coming around to the right-hander. And there's not an awful lot that Ryan Klein could have done.
And I know we had 1 over a medium pace at this end, but apart from that, it's been...
देखिए क्या प्रॉब्लम science sci-fi and fancy cam में बढ़िया सब